Hello, my name is Nicole and welcome to my channel. This video is super important, mainly because it's the first one. Also, it's about my life in recovery. So if you like anything business, positivity, mindset, just how to better yourself, then like and subscribe to this channel. I do want to warn you though that this video is about my life, which includes addiction and jail and things like that. So if that's something that might trigger you, then maybe you want to just skip this video and come back for the next video. All right, well, let's get into it. So my name is Nicole and I own a digital marketing agency. I work with e-commerce stores, drop shipping, Amazon, eBay, all that stuff. Anything e-commerce, I'm working on. Shopify stores, WordPress, BigCommerce. I've worked on all of them and I've had some really great success. I've also have had many of my own stores. Currently right now, I don't, just because I don't really have the time to operate and run everything. I do have employees and they're amazing and I wouldn't be able to do literally anything without them. But I've created a real business for myself. And a couple years ago, I was in a completely different place. After I got out of high school, I started getting pain in my back. And I think that a lot of people might be able to relate to this. And I was a good kid in high school. I did play sports. I really wasn't into drugs. I did drink here and there, but I wasn't into doing drugs and I never really wanted to. So once I was in pain and I went to the doctor and he started prescribing me pills, Vicodin. And, not to glorify it or anything, but I felt great. I thought I was on top of the world and I could do anything. And I would waitress, bartend, and I would zoom around in no pain. And it was crazy. And there was this one time I went to go visit my friend in college and we're just sitting there hanging out, and I'm all of a sudden it just hits me. I'm so sick and I have no idea why. So I'm sitting there and I'm laying there and I'm moaning and groaning and I'm thinking I'm getting the flu, but it's way worse and different. And she didn't really know. And I called one of my other friends and she's like, it's from those pills you're taking. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, they're addictive. And I'm like, no. And she's, yeah. And then we didn't really have Google to just research things. And most people would be like, all right, let's stop taking them. My mind was I need to find a new doctor in South Carolina, or I got to get home or find somebody with these pills immediately because I don't want to feel like this. And it's crazy. Most people would just stop. Me, no. So that led for me, starting to get my dose increased, going to other doctors. Again, back then they didn't really have it in the computer, so you could go to 3 or 4 doctors, and as long as you went to a different pharmacy, it was fine. Now you can't really do that, but I would do that, and then before you know it, I'm a 24-year-old girl taking prescribed legally 80 milligrams of Oxycontin a couple times a day. It's what? Now that I think about it, back then I was yes, this is great. But it wasn't. I mean, I went from really wanting to become something to now running the streets. And, I would take these pills and it was I just started getting bad. I started selling drugs, but not that much. Just starting getting my toes wet into this world. And at first it was oh my God, so much fun. I would get this rush. And then it turned. We got in trouble. I did not get in trouble. My ex-boyfriend did. Somebody had set him up and he had gotten arrested and whatever. And that kind of tore us apart. And that was, the love of my life. He's no longer here anymore, which is very sad. And it is due to this addiction. But, yeah, that tore us apart and that tore me apart. And I was just so depressed. And depressed and dependent on this drug. So I just literally for a month didn't move, cried, slept, whatever, and I started running out of money because I wasn't selling drugs anymore. I'd given him a lot of money for lawyers. I just blew through it. The pills were $50 a pill. And one thing led to another, and I started getting heroin. And that's when things really changed. Sorry, I got a phone call, so I figured I would just go on a walk and take you to one of my favorite places that I go to on a daily basis and manifest. But I really want to get back into what I was saying. Once I started doing heroin, my life really changed. I mean, it literally took my soul out of me, and I didn't care anymore. I had given up on myself, and I was just dead. I didn't care whose life I destroyed in the mix of it. As long as I was getting my drug, I would do whatever I had to do at all costs, you know, to make sure I wasn't sick and to make sure I was high and feeling good. And it's crazy to say now, but you know, 10 years ago, I was content with my life. Like, I was like, all right, well, if I die or say I was to overdose or something, I was good with it. I didn't care. And that's so sad because I had no idea where life was going to take me. Who knew many years later I would be owning my own business, my own boss, and with felonies. I have felonies, and I'm not proud of that. Only reason why I'm saying that is because if you're watching this because you're going through something, like, just know your life in a couple years could change and be completely different. And I know people had said that to me, but I just didn't believe it. I just thought like this was it. I was like, all right, I'm good with being a drug addict forever. I'm okay with that. As long as, you know, I have, do what I want, you know? This is where I come every day. This is this little creek right across the street from my house. So that little walk was how long it takes me to get here. And this place really helps me. But I want you to know, if you're struggling with depression, addiction, mental illness, or even if you're doing good, like you're starting a business, you know, anything, you know, you're just starting your life as an adult or anything, and you feel like you don't have anybody, just know, even though we don't know each other, you can message me, that there's a good chance that I've probably been through whatever it is you're going through. And, you know, like I said before, I was so bad. And how I changed it, you know, is really important. Is I just started taking advice from other people and listening what other people told me to do. Started going to AA meetings, and they were like, you know, saying all that stuff that's very cliche that you don't want to hear when you're using. But that's the stuff that helped me. And, you know, I started taking suggestions from my therapist. I started seeing a therapist. She told me to start journaling, and I did. Set goals. She told me to start manifesting things. And she also, you know, gave me a different perspective on what I was saying and how I felt. So I would say something that I really thought was good and true, but then she would give me another perspective. And when I thought about it like that, I was like, it opened my eyes. So, you know, like, I always thought that journaling was, I don't know, corny. I just didn't really, it just wasn't my thing. And I thought that, like, I don't know, I just thought like corny people did that, and I didn't know, and I don't even know who a corny person is, because the people that do that type of stuff, you know, that set goals and manifest their lives, are the people that are millionaires, that have success. You know, if they're corny, then that's what I want to be. I want to be the corniest person in the whole world. And I don't know why I felt like that, or I thought that, but that was because I don't know. I guess I was insecure with myself, and I didn't really know anything about anything. You know, I'm 37 years old, and I feel like my life is just starting. So, you know, you're never too old or too young to change. And, you know, like I said years ago, I really didn't want to change. But I'm so happy I did. And if I can, I was bad, maybe some of the worst, and I'm not just saying that to exaggerate. You know, later on, if anybody actually does watch this video, and I can go into more detail, but if I can change, you can change. Trust me, I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but I forgave myself, and here I am, and I'm doing really well, and I wouldn't change it for the world. There's nothing, you know, that would make me want to go back. And I have to keep it real every day and remind myself where I was, because I'm going to fight every single day to make sure that never happens to me again. And I'm only making this video is because I had really good success with the dropshipping and running an e-commerce business. And if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. Guys, I just got back into my office and look what I found. Usually he's not allowed in here because he's bad, but when he's cute and sleeping, he's totally allowed in here. I had to take my makeup off. It's just, you know, so hot out here in New York. So thank you guys so much for watching. You know, I know this video is a little like all over the place, and that's okay. This is my first video, and I'm not the most comfortable doing this. You know, I've made a video prior, and it was like a little bit more professionally shot and stuff like that, but it wasn't real. Like, that's not me. Yeah, I am very professional at times, for sure, but to sit here and go online and be fake is just not like what it's about. I want to come online and then build a community that can empower people to success. And I know anybody who is struggling out there, if they want change in their life, they can have it, and I will be right there to support anybody that is like really serious. And you know, it doesn't matter about politics or race or, you know, what you eat for breakfast or dinner. It matters about helping each other and, you know, growing and people just moving forward in life. And we don't have time for like putting each other down, and, you know, all that negativity has just got to stop. So this is me doing my part to try and build some positivity. Again, this was not easy for me to do. So I just kept it real, you know, I just kept it real, and that's it. And that's just what I'm going to continue doing. And I think that even if you are just starting a business, I think, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've learned the hard way with a lot of things. I also started with a low budget, and anybody out there can do this. I promise you. All right. Have a good day. I will make my next video next week. I'm not sure about what yet, but awesome. Have a good day, guys. Bye.